Hello, welcome to AfriScope TV. If this is your first time being here, make sure you like the video, subscribe, share so that we can expand our reach. Today this video is supposed to be a reaction to MrBeast 100 wells built in Africa. Without much ado, I'm going to show you a little bit you know I'm going to show you what was on YouTube, and so that we will react to this particular video. Um, Sorry, I don't intend to play that video. Free and fair use. Yeah, this is for free and fair use. It's for reaction only. It's not supposed to be my content. It's not my content in any way. So, um, let me see if I can share a screen. So MrBeast 100 wells. Um, Once again, welcome back to AfriScope TV. Okay, I'm gonna share my YouTube screen. So as you can see, there are lots of clickbaits going on MrBeast. Channel. That's the first channel. The first video. I built 100 wells in Africa, and the clickbait itself was questionable because I was thinking to myself, in Africa, so Africa doesn't have any country, doesn't have any location, like any township or village. So that's the reason I wanted to do this reaction in the first place. It's actually the clickbait that got me a little bit confused about the whole content. So without much ado, I'm going to play a little bit of the video so that we can react to it. Once again, the video is not mine. It's intended for free use, and it's a reaction video. So I do not intend to get any copyright strike.
In this video. Oh, water! Oh, crap! You just witnessed a small village in Kenya get access to unlimited clean drinking water in less. This is the first of 100 wells we're gonna build in this video. Oh, water! You just witnessed a small village in Kenya get access to unlimited clean drinking water in less than a second. One down, 99 more wells in Africa to go. You're gonna love this video. Combined, these 100 wells are gonna give around 500,000 people fresh water to drink. And after building some more wells on this side of Kenya, we flew south to the school system of Nairiri. And let's just say, they were really happy to see us. How's it going? I was not expecting this. Thank you for the welcome. I need to try to react. I appreciate it, everybody. This village threw a welcome ceremony upon our arrival, and Nolan got really into it.
In fact, if you are an African watching, you might be a little bit confused what's going on here. Like, is he also part of the world? Is he part of the world? Is he part of the philanthropy? I just don't know what's going on anymore. But I understand there is a vacuum that is being filled by MrBeast and the crew. Yes, there is a vacuum that is being filled by them in Kenya or wherever this wall is being built. So some of you will be like, So what's going on in this video at all? Is it supposed to be a philanthropy video? Is it supposed to be like an edited, one of those promotional videos? But Mr. Beast, I have a lot to say about this man. The man who turns giving away a fortune into a competitive sport. If generosity, were an Olympic event, he'd bring in home more gold than a leprechaun with a pot of well gold as well. So I would say recently he set his sights on Africa, and of course I don't think he's going back soon. Claiming to have built 100 walls in various countries. Now, you might be thinking, wow, Mr. Beast is saving the day with more wells than a mole on a golf course. But hold on onto your bracket. Okay, hold on to your bracket because not everyone's clapping their hands. With all this going on, not everybody is clapping their hands. Not everybody is happy about Mr. Beast and what Mr. Beast is doing. So, and this is it. Who are the people who are mad? Is it the Africans in Africa or mainly Africans living in the diaspora? So, or is it foreigners that are mad? Is it the governments in these various countries that are mad? And a lot of things that was being said in this video was quite breathtaking. But I'm not going to waste much time. You're going to play the video in full, then we're going to react to it.
The most awkward person I've ever met, and that's a lot coming from me. And after being shown around the school,
here comes our guest.
How's it going? Oh, you having a good day? It's nice meeting you. One of the teachers showed me where the students currently get their water, which is from this river. That's extremely unsafe to drink. This is where your students used to get water from?
Yes.
This is crazy.
Yeah. Students complaining of diarrhea, infections like typhoid, because this is the water we've been using. So we try to treat, but you see, look at it, but at the end of the day, life has to move on. You have to get some water anyway.
This situation is obviously extremely sad. These children's lives are being limited and sometimes cut short from being forced to drink unsafe water. But at least for this village, we're gonna put an end to it right now. I don't think this John's gonna fit. I have a big head. Let's see if we can find some water. It is raining! It's beautiful! After the water comes out of the ground, it's fed into enormous barrels like this one. And once they're built into the water towers, all of the neighboring villages will not only have clean drinking water, but a pressurized water source as well. Which, in short, means no more doing laundry and unsafe water.
And pull!
On a scale of 1 to Nolan's mom, how heavy is it?
Nolan's mom times 2!
Oh God.
Dude, I'll push you off of this.
All right, here we go. Under control.
We built 20 more wells in Kenya, and after we were done,
Bro has another well in here.
don't worry, I have more water in my other shoe. And just so you know how we built these first 29 wells, we used this giant drill to dig hundreds of feet into the ground, past the polluted sources and into an enormous aquifer of pure drinkable water. After that, we spent time installing pipes so that people all around Africa can access water from spigots like this one in Nairiri. Let's see how it tastes. Like water. It took me about a minute to fill this 5-gallon drum. How much water can this provide a day?
3,600 gallons a day.
Not only will this well cover the 400 kids at this school, but literally the entire neighborhood and village around this school can use this well.
We say thank you for the water.
Oh, no problem. This thing can basically pump non-stop for 30 years. You would think that having an effect of this magnitude would require the resources and funding of a large government, but that's not true. Solving this problem is possible, and something humanity should all be putting effort in to fix.
What's the secret of success?
To be honest, just find something you love doing and do it for a long period, and eventually you'll succeed. So I'm gonna bring it super close. See us? Is that cool? Yes. If you look up, it's recording. All right, well, I'm gonna get close. All right. Yeah, you can see yourself. We were also able to install a well for this village, and these 12 other villages. And while we were finishing these wells, we were also able to update one of their schools with brand new computers. How are they liking it?
They like them.
Glad to see it turned out well. And we also updated the classrooms with new furniture, installed shelves and filled them with new books, donated a soccer ball for every student, and even put modern whiteboards and projectors in all the classrooms. Do you guys like the projector?
We were using a chalk and then a lot of dust, but today everything is clean. We truly appreciate it.
No problem. It's the least we could do. But then when we flew out to the site of the 45th well, we realized this community had it even harder. Every time they need to get water, they need to take a treacherous mile-long hike through the jungle. And that mile-long hike also happens to be on a giant mountain.
I wake up very early, about 4 o'clock, so that I can fetch water for the school.
We are not safe fetching water here. That place is very slippery. Chances of getting an injury is very high.
So while we worked on their well, the community took me to see how they currently source their water. You guys would have to make this trip how many times a day?
2 times.
2 times a day. Oh, wow. So a typical student would carry something like this?
Yes.
Oh, God. If 200 students did this every day, how hard could it be?
It could be very hard.
Oh boy. Dang, this is very steep. We're just walking down this mountain forever.
Every day.
It was actually surprising how difficult this hike was. And these people go through all of that just to get to this spigot. That's water is still unsafe to drink. This is where you guys get your water from normally?
Yes.
And filled with water, these jugs can weigh up to 40 pounds, which is insane for these children to be carrying up this mountain.
The ladies can carry 2 of those.
Oh, I totally can as well then. And as soon as these jugs were filled, it was time to head all the way back up.
Hurry up, let's go.
He's not even sweating or anything. I got it. And now, instead of spending hours a day for unsafe water, their new well is only 10 feet away from the school. So, they can just fill it up here now. I'm too tired. And so we were on our way to the next village where we built our 46th well, but we ran into a little problem. We found out that this village is divided in half by this huge, dangerous river. It may not look like much now, but when the rainy season comes, the water comes up this high and literally swallows this bridge. And why this bridge is such a big deal is the village is over there, the hospital and schools are over there, so they're crossing this bridge multiple times a day. Despite how dangerous this bridge is, it's their only option.
This river, when it is swollen, it can sweep away people, students, or even animals. In the recent past, we have lost about 3 people trying to cross this river.
This loss of life is insane and absolutely unacceptable. The moment we heard about this, we knew we had to help. So while we started work on a new bridge that would let them reach their well, we then traveled over 2,000 miles from Kenya to the country of Zimbabwe. We've been in Africa for over a week, and we still have a lot more wells to do.
You kind of smell.
I know, it's weird. I showered this morning.
Wow.
Yeah. If you let me finish, I can put my arms down. Can I count on you two to finish these wells with me?
Yes.
First on the agenda was to check out a local hospital that was in dire need of clean water. Upon entering, we learned how big of an impact this clinic had on the village. How many kids do you guys give birth to a year here?
In a month, about 50.
Do 600 births a year? Wow. But unfortunately, the pregnant mothers at this clinic have to walk over a mile just to get water, and then carry these heavy buckets all the way back. However, the good news is we paid for the construction of a new modern well for them. All that needed to be done now was to turn it on. All right, Nolan, are you ready?
I'm ready. Over.
Let me get a dramatic zoom in. Nolan, I pressed the button. Is it working?
It's flowing.
Oh. Do we want to go check it out?
Yes.
Let's do it.
I love how people are immediately just getting water right now. This is easily the coolest thing ever.
Nolan here is a professional dancer.
Yes.
He will join.
How do I always end up dancing?
What is he doing? Oh gosh. I won't make you watch this anymore. Besides ensuring access to clean water, a lot of the students at this village lack transportation. So we decided to give all of them new bicycles. I know it looks like a lot of kids, but we bought a lot of bikes. Full disclosure, I don't know how to ride a bike.
Jimmy only knows how to give away bikes.
Never learned how to ride one. Let's break in all the new bicycles. 3, 2, 1, go! Oh, everyone's passing me. Be careful, I don't know how to ride a bike. I don't want to hit anyone. You You want to ride it? All right, go for it, little man. Okay. And after giving away the bikes, we continue building wells until we reach well number 69. This solar-powered well is specially designed to aid the farmers in this village by providing more than enough water for all of their crops and livestock, even during the dry season, without any electricity.
Each panel is 200 watts. Then it's attached to a pump. That pump can pump 5,000 liters every hour. Basically, it's unlimited amount of water for this entire village.
That's incredible.
And after we left Zimbabwe, we wanted to continue to give water to communities all across Africa. So we built more wells in Uganda, Somalia, and Cameroon. If you want to see more of what we did in Cameroon, there's a whole video about that coming soon on the Philanthropy channel. Spending time in these villages really made me reflect on the importance of building wells, how it brings water to farms to feed the hungry, how it provides clean conditions for hospitals, and most importantly, how it helps the children of this next generation live long, healthy lives and build the future for all of these communities.
We await a new dawn of clean drinking water. Water is life.
And with some help from the locals, we finally finished a new bridge that this community can use for the next 100 years.
Lives has been saved, families will come together, the worries will be gone.
The 100 wells we built in this video will change a lot of lives, but not enough. Which is why before you go, I want to urge you all to go to beastphilanthropy.org/wells or click the link in the description and donate money if possible. We're literally not profiting a dime off this video. 100% of the money we raise is going to go towards building more wells like you saw in this video all around the globe. I know it's weird that a YouTuber has to do all this stuff, but someone's got to do it. And if no one else is, we're going to do it. As you can tell, it really does change the lives of the communities where we build them. And finally, well 100.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Now we've seen it all, we've seen it all, we've seen it all. So someone will be wondering, you know, as an African, definitely I would say that it's impressive. What he did, I actually haven't watched the video. This is the first time I'm watching this video in detail, right? But I would say that whatever he did is impressive. I wish I also have the resources to do things like that. But story for another day. I don't know why the media picked on this the wrong way, but I will definitely dissect everything that I think I've seen and heard in that video that I think people might be a little bit uncomfortable about, like some of the things that was being said. And let's just say this. A lot of people came up with this term that, it's a white savior complex. The whole idea or the whole notion of a white savior complex was so much in that video. And I'm like, okay. So the white savior complex, for those of you who don't know what that is, it's a term that sounds like a superhero, like a sidekick, but it's actually a serious issue. It's when folks from the West, usually sporting a fair complexion, decided to swap into countries like Africa, wearing capes of goodwill, but often missing the memo on real solutions. It's like trying to fix a leaky faucet by rearranging the furniture. Sure. So it might look different, but the water's still dripping. Now, our man, Mr. Beast, in his quest to outdo the generosity of Mother Teresa, might have stumbled into the complex territory of being a white savior. His video, as we've seen, with more views than a cat playing the piano, showcases him, gallivanting across East Africa, handily labeled I built 100 wells in Africa. It, it's like a game show title, you know. Guess how many wells Mr. Beast built and win a lifetime supply of water. Anyways, um, but hold on. Well, let's just hold on to this a little bit. You know, or let's get our own water bottles and go to East Africa and get some of this water. What do you think about this? You know, but because everyone is doing the happy dance, critics, you know, argue that Mr. B's well building extravaganza, you know, oversimplifies the problems facing Africa. It's like thinking a band aid will fix a broken leg. You know, it helps, but the real issue needs more attention than a quick pack up job, And a lot of people still pointing hand at the East African government. What are they doing? These are supposed to be done by them. So why is it that Mr. Beast happen to be the one doing all of this? And people are like, oh, the African government face a law, they have limited budgets and they do this. And hey, but look carefully to how these people live in those countries. Look carefully to the minister. The money they earn each and every single month, hey, is not easy. And comparing that amount of money that leadership, which is supposed to serve the needs of the people, are earning compared to the regular people living in those various countries, you'll be like, no, you'll be shocked. And then that's why I felt a little bit happy that people are pointing hand at those government, that why are the people not getting all of that, even though they earn, even though they contribute their taxes. Yes, they pay taxes in those countries as well. So why is it that their taxes are not fixing their roads, building bridges, building water or even clean drinking water? And of course, I came across videos where people were like, oh, this is 2024 or 2023, why are they building wells? Why not even clean filtered drinking water, or at least, or treated drinking water? Well, is just a bad thing for the day, and those are not what they needed for this age. But hey, as it's been said in that video, somebody needs to do something at least. And it's been done by Mr. B. And shout out to Mr. Beast for doing that. I really love that. Even though people will be like, oh, it's a philanthropy, all of that is for, the benefits of getting more donations. And that's how they win donations. They make these emotional videos to capture our emotion into giving money or donating money to their causes, so that, at the end of the day, he's also promoting his philanthropy brand. And it's all about brand, brand, brand. And I'm like, okay, so let's forget about the brand. What are we doing, or what needed to be done? What is needed to be done? If we forget thinking about the philanthropy or whatever we are seeing in that video, or the drama we are seeing in that video now, if we put them aside, won't there still be a need? Would there still be a need of water? Would there still be a need for a bridge? Why? Look at all those kids benefiting from the bicycles. Look at how happy they were. It's nice. Who doesn't like nice things? So I was like, so what's the point in all these videos that a lot of Africans are like, oh, we wanted to do this in Africa and we couldn't do it because we Africans, we don't like ourselves. We rather give the attention and support to a foreigner or a white savior than we would ever give it to our own self. So basically, people are like, they try to do it, but they had to go through a lengthy process. The government, sidelined them. The government actually started demanding donations from them, even though they are Africans, but they actually laid a red carpet, right? They actually, you know, laid a red carpet for Mr. Beast to come and easily do all of this. And I'm like, okay, calm down a bit, calm down, calm down, calm down. So, don't you like whatever Mr. Beast was doing? At least he did something. You weren't able to do it because they wanted to take, they wanted you to bribe them. The government or the state officials wanted you to bribe them just to do something good for your own people. But at the end of the day, somebody did it. So let's rally behind the person. It's good that we let our narrative be seen. At the end of the day, had our fellow African brothers done that, would they also put up a video like this to encourage more people, or to encourage people that they can also do something in those various countries? That's one of the questions that I asked, because at least that means that nowadays everybody needs to carry camera. Everybody needs to pick the camera and go out there. And whilst we do everything good, we need to record it on the camera, and we need to record it, come and edit it, put those video effects and put it on YouTube. That's what we all of us need to be doing nowadays. If you want to do something good as an African, make sure you pick a camera. Does that sound well? Does this really sound well to you? Because I'm thinking, is how can we also do good things and be noticed, and then and use it as a way to encourage other people to do that? As an African, how do we get involved to do things like this, amazing things like this, so that we can also put it out there so that people will be encouraged to do it? If this is all about encouragement, if this is all about doing good. So the video also, dabbles in a bit of emotional manipulation. Of course, I've seen all of the editing and the filters. Tagging at has the strings, um like a master, I would say master puppeteer or master puppeteer. Titles like I spent this type of money on lottery tickets and gave it all away, and a clickbaiting harder than a fisherman with a worm on a hook. I would say so. I'm quite shocked to see that carefully the clickbaiting was too much. Something, if it's supposed to be like a philanthropy, I expect to see like just a moderate content. But had he made a moderate content with less editing and filters and not no like clickbait, would we also come across the content anyways? I don't think videos without clickbait do well on YouTube nowadays. And I'm a content creator, I know what it is. If you don't make it, look like those fanciful clickbaits where people are carried away by the negativity or by the harshness of a topic and clicking, wanted to look or wanted to watch to check out what is being said on that video, or to go and judge or question the content creator, you ain't gonna get views. So basically, let's also think wise, let's not make it seem like, oh, people are just putting clickbait out there, or the philanthropy or Mr. Beast philanthropy is all about clickbaiting, it's all about making money, it's all about getting views, it's all about being a white savior, and all of that's been said. It's just unnecessary. And let's not forget the close-up of African kids looking very grateful. Look at those kids so happy. It's like emotional currency. Watch the video and we will, you know, encourage you to also do something, if even if you can't build a 100 well. If you can't build 100 walls here in Africa, or you can't build it, or you can, contribute to the development in your communities or your countries, be encouraged to do something. And I don't know whether you also be carrying a camera though, but who, I mean, nobody's stopping you from carrying a camera with you. But here's where it gets tricky, right? Critics argue that Mr. Beast might be building walls, but he's also constructing a narrative that Africa can't fix, or Africans can't fix their own problems. It's like saying, don't worry, Africa, Superman is here to save you. Meanwhile, Africa's thinking, or Africans are thinking, we have our own heroes. Thanks. Plus, we've been dealing with challenges longer than the time it takes for a Mr. Beast video to hit 1 million views. We've been dealing with problems, so who cares? That's in the mind of the African, anyways. So what's the solution? Well, it's not as simple as tossing a money around like a confetti, at a millionaire's birthday party. Instead of being the superhero, Mr. Beast could also be a super hero ally. Picture this, instead of jetting in, cape billowing in the wind, and he could team up with local organizations, putting the power back in the hands of those who know their communities best. Somebody wanted them to be like that, but hey, here is Africa. I thought about why couldn't you just partner with the local philanthropic organizations then, if you wanted to do something this big? But I came back into my senses, and I realized that, hey, a lot of things like this, because of the corruption in Africa, immediately you start involving organization in organization, you realize that the main interest of the day gets diverted, and the money gets spent on unnecessary things. You realize that the people in those local organizations end up diverting the funds that's supposed to be used to do something. At least they divert the fund into funding unnecessary things that are not supposed to be done with the fund. They might start spending the money on themselves, buying themselves expensive air ticket, telling you that they bought this they use it for fuel, they use it to do this and that and that and that and that. But at the end of the day, the amount of money that you've put into those projects wouldn't actually go into the real project than go into the pocket of the corrupt African. So at the same time, I have it at the back of my mind that, hey, yes, Mr. Beast partnering with a local organization or philanthropic organization might have I mean, made the project unsuccessful. They might have been unsuccessful in because those local organizations are just there hungry for money. Immediately anything comes their way, they're gonna divert it into their pocket, divert it into their homes, and the real problems that needed to be fixed will go unsolved. This is one of the problems in Africa that I think we need to fix. That's the main thing we need to fix. That a lot of people here can't be trusted. You give them money for something, they're gonna take that money for themselves, and you will never see them. So it's true. If you want to do something in Africa, go yourself, do it yourself. That's how best you can see the results. Else, you're gonna come back to stories. You're gonna hear a lot of story. So once again, all look good and until, let's just say, an African with a low self-esteem comes up to tell you, oh, they have done this, it's the white man complex. Why can't Africans do this for themselves? They have so much money, then they have all these resources and they can solve their own problems. Yes, they can't. They couldn't solve it. And somebody solved it. And somebody came to show you that they can do something. So it should encourage this low self-esteem Africans to wake up and say, hey, I think we can do something about our own problems in our various countries and communities. Yes, it's it's high time. It's high time that you know we come back to our senses. So again, to talk about the white savior complex, okay, that everybody keeps singing. You know, the white savior complex is prevalent in various forms of media. We see it every day. It's in videos, in books, documentaries, where protagonists are depicted as heroes who or white protagonists are depicted as heroes who rescue and uplift people of color from their misery. The white savior complex is also common in the field of international development and aid, where white donors, volunteers, and organizations are seen as benevolent and altruistic. While the recipients of their assistance are seen as needy and dependent. So, Mr. Beast's initiative to build 100 wells in Africa has been accused of exhibiting the white savior complex for several reasons. And some of them are, number one, people were like, it reinforces the stereotype of Africa as a homogeneous, poor, and backward continent that needs to be saved by white people. Mr. Beast video does not acknowledge the diversity and complexity and richness of Africa's cultures, histories and the realities on the ground. It also does not address the historical and structural factors that contribute to the lack of access to clean water in some parts of Africa, such as colonialism and corruption and climate change in general. But at the end of the day, it's a, it's Mr. Should we put all this burden on Mr. Beast? All this diversity and inclusivity and richness of African culture. Why should we expect somebody like Mr. Beast to go around doing all or putting all of that into a video just to please us or just to appeal to our emotions? Now, do you get what I'm thinking? It's just ridiculous that people are expecting too much. Another point that people cited is, you know, they said it's the video actually it exploits the image of Africa, and a lot of people cite um the histories and the past situations or the past dealing with those foreign NGOs that normally come across that come on the continent and acted as if all Africans are or all Africa is poor, and then they record videos and pictures of poor, very very poor communities and make it seem pitiful and depict it on the world stage and on the internet and use it as a means to make more money or to get more donations, and which most of that goes into their own pocket, and they use it to stay in their luxurious hotels in those countries and act as if they are coming to help in those countries anyways. So people were like, oh, it exploits the image of Africa, the video is It's people for personal gain, and the fame is all about YouTube content creation. It's all about clicking and likes and all those adrenaline rush. That's all they want. And actually, I say Mr. Beast video uses you know I would say sensationalist and clickbait titles. Most of his videos, go and check. Go to Mr. Beast's philanthropy or Mr. Beast's platform. You will see that most of his videos are sensationalist and clickbait titles. And that's how YouTube works. If you don't make content like that, it's not gonna go viral. You're not gonna get the views and the support that you needed. So basically, he does do all of that to attract more views and donations. It also uses the faces and emotions of the African people, especially children, as props and tokens to elicit sympathy and admiration from his audience. Of course, he was using all those people. Oh, the government didn't do it. You see, this water is so poor and dirty. We walk so many miles to fetch this water. Sad, sad, right? It's beautiful, but it's all about the content. It's all about getting the content, making the video. I don't know how it works, but it works. It works. So those of you saying Mr. Beast uses the phases and emotions of African people, especially children, as props and tokens to elicit sympathy and admiration from his audience. He did, and he did that to get you involved. Mr. Beast's video does not respect the privacy, I think, and consent, of course, of the people he filmed, nor does it give them any credit or compensation for their participation. But the video is supposed to show philanthropy. So people who are saying that, oh, he's not showing not respecting the people, the privacy of the people, and all of that. He even talk about the government of Kenya and all of those places that they are not developing their country, which is bad. The blaming is not right, and go sit down. Those of you saying all of the, go and sit down. If only you can do something like this, you'll be all over the space. You'll be all over the universe, trying to tell all the moon, the stars, all that you've accomplished. But it's because somebody else is foreign came to do it, so you have a problem with that. Go sit down. Go and sit down. Go and rest your butt. That's what I would tell most people. Another thing a lot of people keep talking about on the internet is that they say the video undermines the agency and dignity of the African people and communities. So people say Mr. Beast's video does not show any, consultation or collaboration with the local leaders. But it's just a small 10 minutes video. So why are we expecting more or much from that 10 minutes video? Do you know what goes into doing all of that? You need the stakeholders. You need stakeholders from those various communities to support. Else you can't do things like that. So why is it that we expect to see everything in a 10 minutes video? And people were like, okay, organizations who are already working on the ground to provide water and other services to their communities, and Mr. Beast doesn't consult any of them. It's like there's a lot of backlash from people who just have low self-esteem, and I think most of them might actually be Africans themselves. especially diasporan Africans who want everything about Africa to be so perfect that a little bit of negativity goes against their egos. Somebody's gonna tell them that hey, you need to support your people, so basically they have to react in another way. Now let's say those people who say all of those things, let's just put them aside for now. But it also does not show any follow-up evaluation, as people say, of the impact and sustainability of the wells he built. And then people started citing that, oh, we live in 2023, those wells needed not to be built because we needed long-lasting alternatives, and we need environmentally friendly alternative. And those videos do not and together, let's just say the world is just not right because they need filtered drinking water and not just any type of well water rushing from the ground, which is still unsafe and contain a lot of you know um you know elements that are not unnecessary, like magnesium and unnecessary uh, iron, and a lot of things that people kept talking about. But hey, it starts from somewhere. If you know so much, if you know so much you want to do for the people in East Africa, go do it. Nobody's holding you down. Nobody is holding you down. If you know so much you want to do for people in East Africa, go and do it. Stop complaining about Mr. B. Stop being um all in this up over there talking about how, I mean, criticizing everything you see about that video. If you think that you can do it best, go do it. Nobody's stopping you. Okay, nobody's stopping nobody. So a lot of people saying all of this, I just think it's just a lot of hate. A lot of people, Africans with low self-esteem, they know that definitely a white person showing up or showing over here in Africa doing this is definitely gonna, it's definitely gonna be like the mainstream, because of course everybody knows that across Africa the reputation, the image of a white man, a white savior, is extremely, it's extremely prominent. And no, it's just something that I think is gonna be difficult, or it will take a while to undo in the mind of people. The white savior complex, believing that you can do it unless somebody else from another race showed up in Africa to do it, you can do it. It's just obviously not right. But at the end of the day, this is the problem that Africans experience. And what can we say about that? What can we say about that? And I will simply say that, even though there are flaws in that video and whatever, why should we expect that video to be 100% perfect? The 10-minute video, you want us to contain everything? No. So Mr. B's video, might implies that he knows what is best for the African people, and that they should be grateful for his charity without considering their needs, preferences, and feedback. But at the end of the day, you can see the people are happy. You can see that there is a lot of smile in the face of those people with the children that got the bike. The communities are happy, and that's nice. So long as they're happy, it's okay. Let's not be haters. So, what are some alternative to Mr. B's initiative at all? Mr. B's initiative to build 100 walls in Africa, or he has already built it anyways. It's not the only way to support the continent's development and well-being. There are many other ways that are more respectful, effective, and empowering us, such as supporting local and grassroots organizations and movements that are led by and for the African people and communities. You know, these organizations and movements have the knowledge, experience, and legitimacy to address the issues and challenges that affect them and to advocate for their rights and interests. They also have the capacity and creativity to develop and implement their own solutions with or without external assistance. So it's good that we support local grassroots organizations to carry out these activities if we do really care. If you don't want to be promoting the image of a white man or white savior, then we do need to put in those work as well. But educating oneself, I always one of the things I do the most is educate, at least share some knowledge, trying to say that this not that I am a knowledge reservoir, but at the end of the day, we needed to say something. We need to air it out there at least. So educating oneself and others about the realities, okay, and complexities of Africa and its people beyond the stereotypes and myths. I- you know, it's it's another thing to be like Africa is poor and Africa needs development, but it's another thing to also identify the real problems, okay? Because poverty is in different folds, so we need to keep educating people. We need to, as African content creators, like AfriScope, I will do the good work to educate people about the real problem at hand, that we lack support. We as African people lack support until somebody else showed up on the door and do it. Then somebody with low self-esteem will be like, we've been doing that for many years and we haven't gotten so much attention, and somebody else did it. Please lay low for a second though. So beyond the stereotypes and the myths, right? We need to be involved. Okay, we need to be involved in our own affairs as African people and stop criticizing foreigners. I think when we do it beyond the limits of foreigners, we will definitely become the mainstream characters. Okay, when Africans begin to solve their own problems with enthusiasm, like with all their dedication, and everybody's involved, we will become the mainstream. We will get to know that we can also do it ourselves. And a white man showing up in Africa to do it will now become like the mainstream. Okay. So basically, we need to do more. That's just it. So, aside this, educating people, um, I would like to say, let me define this really well. It involves, you know, uh, teaching about the history, culture, politics of Africa, as well as the current achievements and challenges of the continent. It also involves listening to and amplifying the voices and stories of the African people, especially those who are marginalized and oppressed, such as women and the youth and minorities. So, another thing I would like to say is like we need as people, um to challenge and change the system and structures that continue to perpetuate the inequality and injustice that affect us as African people, such as the you know um even with people in the West, these so-called Western governments who try to get involved in Africans issues, we most of the time they need to also acknowledge the fact that colonialism and slavery and all of that also had its impact, and they need to also contribute their part. So definitely racism and I would say neoliberal liberal oh my god, the neo liberalism. Yes, as I would say, neoliberalism is also a factor over there to consider. So, um, by questioning and resisting the policies and practices of the government and corporations and institutions that exploit and oppress the continent and its resources, such as the land grabbing, debt, and trade. It also involves supporting joining the campaigns and movements that demand and promote the social and economic transformation of the continent and the world, such as decolonizing, um, and also reparations and solidarity. So many of the times, Africa becomes the main source of content when it comes to these poverty narratives. But it's not only Africa. All across the world, there is poverty. Inequality is worldwide. So before we throw the baby out together with the bathing water, let's just come back to our senses and say, hey, there are things that we can do as people, but there are also things out there that are just beyond us. Um, so, juggling all of this together, right? Um, it's time for us to also join in the campaign and, you know, and support good causes and promote social and economic transformation of the continent and the world at large. So, I would like to conclude here by saying Mr. Beast initiative to build or Mr. Beast initiative, of building 100 walls in Africa has sparked admiration and controversy, touching themes of philanthropy, aid, and modern charity. While Mr. B's intention may have been, noble and gorgeous, his execution was seen as problematic, as it, exhibited the white savior complex and its negative consequences. Mr. B's initiative should be seen as an opportunity to reflect and learn about the realities and complexities of Africa and its people, and to explore and adopt more respectful, effective, and empowering ways to support the continent's development and well-being. And with that much being said, those of you be watching this content later, make sure you like the video, share, you can leave a comment below, because we need to circulate the narrative. People need to know the real truth about all of this. Personally, I don't have anything against Mr. Beast. I think he did well. I wish I also have the resources to be able to put up this wonderful works, or to contribute to my community, to do amazing things like this. But at the end of the day, just because I don't have it now, that doesn't mean that I shouldn't have it at the back of my mind that um contributing to development doesn't always mean that giving out money. I can do something, at least I can contribute by volunteering in communities. I can do something at least. So at the end of the day, all that we need to do is now to get involved as African people. Let's stop being standoffish, you know, always looking out there for somebody else to come and do it. If the government or the state refuse to do it, then let's take the power from them and build our communities. And next time when they show up at our door, we show them the way, we show them the other way. Hey, you don't have to come here. We don't need you because there is no value from you. I believe that's how we as African people need to approach the developmental issues or gaps in our community, because it's just too much. Mm. Poor road, um, poor governance, poor institutions, poor infrastructure. All of those things that we deal with is too much. And also, one of the major things in Africa right now, or one of the major problems affecting us, is the youth unemployment. High youth unemployment rate is one of the main problems affecting us. So who is gonna solve that problem? Who is gonna solve that problem? Um, do we expect somebody else to jump on board and solve that problem for us? Um, I, you know, do we expect somebody else to get involved and solve that problem? So at the end of the day, let's not just sit back there and expect things to just fall into place and the happy ever after to happen by itself. Let's get involved. That's all I'm calling for. And for Africans in the West who believe that promoting, uh, showcasing the good side of Africa means that ignoring all the problems and the intricacies of our problems, shame on them. Those Africans that call them positive content creators and they ignore the problems of on the ground. They do not want to take a 360-degree analysis of things that they share on social media. All they care about is showing beautiful hotels, beautiful streets in the cities, and they forget about the many deplorable villages that needed support, that needed good drinking water, so schools, inventories, and all of those things, the hospitals that needed support. They ignore all of that, all in the name of positivity. Shame on them. It's time for them to also wake up and contribute some other way, okay? And stop being negative and all in this on social media, saying things like, "Oh, Mr. Beast is doing too much. Mr. Beast that. Mr. Beast this." Once again, this video explore Mr. Beast's building effect in Africa. His initiative was good. Uh, Shout out to Mr. Beast for carrying out this wonderful work. And for those Africans who believe that just because he's a white man, he's not supposed to do it, shame on you. Shame on you. At the end of the day, we can all do something. He contributes 100 wells, but if I mean supply bicycles, build bridges. I mean, all of that we need. So before we step back and judge, let's also judge where we are. Can we also do something like that? If you can't do it, then don't in any way question people that are doing it. Don't question people who are doing it when you know you are not doing, when you know you can't do anything. Anyway, with that much being said, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next live show. Endeavor to also make yourself available when I'm live. You can join me on the show and share your views concerning topics, because it's not always supposed to be like a one-man show. It's not supposed to be I know all and I want to share all. It's supposed to be a discussion. So next time I'm live, make sure you also prepare yourself and join me, and let's have a good discussion about things like this. But at the end of the day, enjoy the rest of the day, and stay safe. But remember to also support the show. um you can do that by sending your donations to buymeacoffee.com, or if you are somebody who knows how to use payment apps like what Remitly, Sendwave. These are African payment methods that you can easily use to support the show. If you want to do that, make sure to send me an email. Reach out to me. Go to my about page and you can get my email there. Send me an email that, hey, you want to send uh, donate to this show, you want to support the show. So basically, if you send me that, I will definitely send you my details of do how to or my I'll send you my details um that will enable you to send your donations to any of the using any of the methods, as you can see on the screen, whether word remit or remitted or what any of them. Um, lately, I've been making sure to put up content here to revive the channel, which for a while I haven't been making content. So I believe it's going to take a while to build my fan base again. But join the effort. I love that the fact that some of the videos are doing really well, and we also just need a little bit of the support from you guys to keep on doing this show. So with that much being said, enjoy the rest of the day and peace.